What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Tonight, we're going to go over my top 10 catchers heading into 2021. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. And what's going on, baseball fans? How you doing tonight? Hello. What is going on? 37 people in the chat right now. Not too many people. It's a Friday night. Some of you guys probably got some plans or whatever else going on. So I'm not expecting a big crowd in here tonight, but if you guys made it out tonight, welcome. Appreciate you coming out as always. What is going on? A lot of familiar faces. We got Nicholas, Aaron, what's going on? Jackson's here. Rocky Adams, Todd Gaddy, Jeremiah. What is going on? Robert Brown, Nahawand, what's going on? Yogi Dude is here. Bobby Ross Paints, what is going on? Aaron Richards, hello. Alex S, what's going on? NHOJ Crab, what's going on? David Knight is here. What's going on? Hello. Everyone, if I missed you, hello and welcome. So tonight, we're going to go over my top 10 catchers heading into 2021. This whole week, I've been previewing all the positions. Actually, do I got that music turned on? I keep forgetting to turn this music on lately. There we go. Kind of set the mood a little bit. There we go. But we have been previewing each position this past week. We started off with first base on Monday. Then we went to second base on Tuesday, third base on Wednesday, and then I did shortstop last night. And tonight, we're going to go over the catchers. So pretty much all the infield this week. And then next week, we're going to go over all the outfield positions, and then we're going to go over the relief pitchers and the starting pitchers as well. So, but yeah, we're just going to keep on chugging along here. But before I get started, as always, if I may, if you are new, think about hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6K by opening day. We're at 5.92K right now. So help us get to 6K. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, think about hitting that like button. We're trying to get this stream out there to more baseball fans. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then follow me on Twitter as well if you want to talk some baseball throughout the day. So, everyone, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just get started here. The way I kind of made my rankings, for all of my rankings so far, I take a look at last year's stats. I take a look at the past couple of years as well. And then kind of just go with my gut a little bit. Again, with these lists, it's pretty much impossible that everyone is going to agree on every single spot. People are going to think someone should be higher, someone should be lower, someone should be on the list, someone should be off the list. So if you disagree, hey, that's okay. Not a big deal at all. Just be respectful, please. That's all we ask. So, but yeah, catcher. I love the catcher position. Growing up as a Red Sox fan, I was very used to having Jason Varitek around. And nowadays we have Christian Vasquez around. So we've always been pretty decent when it comes to the catching position. So definitely understand how important it is to have just a good, solid catcher on your team. And there's some good ones out there today. And yeah, so you know what? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just get started here. So at number 1, let me get this music turned off. Alrighty, so at number 1, here we go. Starting off my list, some of you probably think this guy should be higher on the list. And trust me, I definitely did want to put him up higher. I'm not denying the talent at all. I think this guy could be a top 5 catcher by the end of the year. He could maybe even be a top 3. This guy has all the potential in the world. Really good season last year. But the only reason I have him starting at number 10 is simply put, I just want to see more time from him. That's all it is. I'm not denying the talent at all, but this guy, I think, is going to be one of the next good catchers in this league. Will Smith just won a World Series this past year with the Dodgers. Again, it kind of hurt me putting him this low, but simply put, I just want to see more from him. He hasn't played really too much to me. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the stats. Here we go, sharing the screen. Will Smith, man, what a year from him last year. 37 games. This guy had an on-base of 401. He's only about to turn 26 years old. Hit 289, 8 home runs. You had the amazing Will Smith versus Will Smith matchup in the playoffs. That was awesome. And hey, Will Smith got the best of Will Smith. This Will Smith got the best of the other Will Smith. Yeah, I really like what this guy has been doing. Again, he just hasn't played enough for me. I mean, he played 54 games in 2019. He only played 37 this past year. But in that small sample size, I'm seeing a lot from this guy. Seeing a lot. I mean, good on-base skills. I mean, 400 on base this past year. This guy was a machine offensively. The defense this past year. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Oh, I forgot last year's list. Ooh, I completely forgot last year's list. Give me a second, Rocky. I'll see if I can pull that up. I should have it because I've had all my other last year's lists so far. Let me see. Oh, where is it? One second. All right, I got center field right there, right field, relief pictures. Where am I catching? I'm gonna have to look for that. I'm gonna have to dig. For some reason, I'm not seeing it right here on my old documents. I know last year I had JT Real Muto number 1. I had Yasmani Grandal number 2. Man, who did I can't even remember last year's list at all, and I cannot find it for the love of me. Oh, man, I might have to go back into last year's video. Maybe we'll do that at the end of this stream. I'll pull up last year's video from that, and we can all watch it together. We won't watch the whole thing. I'll kind of just skim through it real quick. But thank you so much for the $2 super chat, my friend. Really appreciate that. But as for Will Smith, again, I'm not denying the talent on this guy. This guy could easily be, for me, a top 5 guy. MLB.com, I believe, has him ranked number 4 right now, and I respect that. I get it. Just to me, I just want to see more games. That's all I want to see. I just want to see it done over a larger sample size. That's all. Really, that's all. So here we go. Moving on to number 9. Okay, so at number 9, who did I have at number 9? I can't remember who I had at number 9. I can't even do a preview right now. All right, we're just going to dive into it. At number 9, oh, I remember now. This guy just went to a new team at the trade deadline this past year. And this team could be looking pretty like a pretty tough competitor in the National League. They could definitely make a run at a World Series this year. And we got Austin Nola. Austin Nola, he has had himself a pretty good couple of years here. So let's go pull up the stats. Austin Nola. Here we go. Pulling up the stats here. Alrighty. So this past year, again, he was with the Mariners. He went to the Padres at the trade deadline this past year. Good season. 273 over 48 games, hit 273, a 353 on base, a 472. Yeah, David, you can you can tell, can't you? It's been a long week at work. Oh man. Yes, everyone. David is absolutely right. I am a little tired tonight. It's been a long week. Today was a tough day at work for me. I'm trying over here. I'm trying. So that's really funny, David, because I was trying to hide it, but you guys can definitely see it. Hopefully I can wake up as the list goes on. But here we 353 on base, 472 slugging, really good. But he not just provided the offense, he provided good defense as well. 5.5 defensive runs above average for him with Seattle last year. You know, pretty good season as well last year. Had 10 home runs and 31 RBIs. You know, he definitely improved on the defense. So really liked Austin Nola. He's definitely projected for a decent year this year. Not really too much with the offense, but you're gonna get a good glove, at least according to the projections from Zips and Steamer. So they're projecting him for around 10 home runs, anywhere from like 40 to maybe 60 RBIs. Should have a decent on base. So I really liked the on base last year with Austin Nola. So here we go. Moving on to number 8. This guy had a really good bounce back year this year, had Tommy John surgery, and it was really nice for me to put him back on this list. I've always liked this guy at catcher. He's won a World Series, and that is Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez it felt really good to put him back on this list because he had himself a really good year. He was actually one of the top catchers this past year. Let's go take a look at the stats. Alrighty, sharing the screen. Here we go. So if we actually go take a look, here we go. Let me look here. So as you can see here, this is the list for the last couple of years. Again, he missed a lot of time in 2019, but he still ranked 18th among all catchers, even though he only played 37 games. That's how good he was this past year. He didn't even play in 2019. And if you go look at 2020, very good. I believe he was the number one catcher when it came to wins above replacement. Yeah, Salvador Perez was the number one catcher when it came to wins above replacement this past year, even better than a JT Real Muto. Granted, small sample size. He played a little more than half a season. So, just really, it felt really good to put him back on here. The offense looked really good. 11 homers, 32 RBIs, played some pretty decent defense as well. Look out for the Royals this year. The Royals could be a pretty fun team. And if Salvador Perez can stay healthy, then hey, I think this Royals team could be a bit of a surprise this year. So take a look out for them this year. Salvador Perez, I have at number 8. Would love to put him up higher, just because of the 2019 season, coming back from injury. Not a big sample size. It gets him back onto this list. I'd want to see more from him, though. I want to see, more post-surgery Salvador Perez. And I definitely think he could get himself into the top 5. So we'll have to wait and see on Salvador Perez. So up next, we have another young catcher. This guy, I'll tell you, I like this guy. It's just something about him. He's just a solid all-around catcher, and he's also very young. And right now, I think he is one of the better catchers in the game, and I love his game. Absolutely do. And that's Shawn Murphy. Shawn Murphy has been very solid so far in his career. Very solid. So let's go take a look. Shawn Murphy, pulling up the list. So here we go, sharing the screen. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go, sharing the screen. So some of you may be thinking, well, how is Shawn Murphy higher on this list than a Will Smith? Well, I kind of, I look at the sample sizes. Shawn Murphy's had a very good on-base percentage himself. He has provided some good offense himself. Maybe not to the stature of a Will Smith, but I really like the defense that Shawn Murphy brings to the table. For a young catcher, really like the defense. I'm also kind of going off projection as well. I think he's going to be a really solid defensive catcher for the A's. Just a good gritty player. Kind of, I just like this guy a lot. I mean, if you take a look at the stats this past year, 364 on base, 7 homers, a little low on the average, but he did really well this past year. And maybe I'm kind of putting him a little higher than what most people think, but I don't know. I just like him a lot. I'm a sucker for defense, and when I see a catcher who is providing offense but is also providing defense as well, I'm a sucker for that. So maybe that's why he's a little higher on my list compared to other people's. But I just like me some Shawn Murphy. I'm expecting really good things from him in his career. So moving on, we're going now to number 6. Who did I have at number 6? I can't remember who I had at number 6. All right, we're just going to dive in at number 6. Oh, that's right, Travis Darno. Really good year from him this past year. I really liked him. It was a toss-up for me to go for number 6 or number 5. It was a little tough for me. I really did want to put him number 5, but I just liked some other guys just a little bit more just in front of him. But man, what a good season he had this past year. Let's go take a look at the stats. Here we go. Sharing the screen. So this past year did really good for the Braves. 44 games, 9 homers, 321 average, a 386 on base. This guy was awesome this past year. So let's actually take a look. I want to go to the leaders for catchers in 2020. I believe he was a top 5 catcher this past year when it came to wins above replacement on Fangraphs. So let's take a look at that. He was number 6. He was number 6. So but then when I look at him in the past couple of years, he was also is that 2020? Let's change this to 2019. Here we go. So if we take a look, Travis Darno was 7th overall in the last couple of years when it came to WAR. So because of a good season this past year, I decided, bump him up a little bit to number 6. So Travis Darno, really solid. He's had good success on both sides of the ball. Good, more of an offensive game, but he still provides a pretty solid defensive game as well. So really like Travis Darno, and I think he definitely could be a key piece of a possible, could you maybe see the Braves make a run at the World Series this year? I think it's really possible. I think this Braves team is being slept on a little bit. We'll get more into the team previews in the next couple of weeks, but I do like Travis Darno a lot. He gets the number 6 spot for me. So here we go. Before I get into my top 5, if I may, let's take a quick little break. If you are new right now, I'm not seeing too many people in the chat right now, 49 people. It's a Friday night. I'm expecting that. But if you are new right now, think about hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6K by opening day. Hit that like button for me. That's going to help this stream get out to more baseball fans and help it get out to more fans after we are done going live tonight. And go follow me on Twitter as well. So here we go. Coming back to you now, we're going to get into our top 5. So at number 5, again, this was pretty close. The 6 and the 5 spot for me, it was a bit of a toss-up. But you know what? I gave the edge a little bit to this guy, mainly because I think projection-wise, I think he's going to be pretty good, especially with his new team that he just signed with. And I predicted it right, too. I actually got a free agent prediction right this past year, or this past offseason, and that is James Mccann on the Mets. I'm expecting a good season from James Mccann this year. I think he's going to be big for the Mets. Really, really excited to see. The Mets have needed an upgrade at catcher. Can James Mccann be the guy? I really liked it. A lot of people were thinking maybe Real Muto could be the guy. But to me, when I thought about it, I thought the Mets, they needed to make a lot of upgrades. And I thought James Mccann would be the next best option just because he wasn't going to cost a lot of money. But let's go take a look here at James Mccann. Sharing the screen. Here we go. James Mccann, he had a really good season last year. 289 average. He only played half a season, but what do you expect when you got Yasmani Grandal in front of you? I mean, the fact that he even played this many games, it's crazy to me. But 7 home runs, 289 average, a 360 on base. Still, in 31 games, put up a 1.5 wins above replacement. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, but then in 2019, he was really good too. The defensive game actually got better this past year in a small sample size. In 2019, still had some things to work on. Didn't really see too much from the defense, but he really stepped it up on the defense this past year. But 2019, the offense was really good. 273 average, had a right below an 800 OPS, but then he had 60 RBIs as well. I think he's going to be a big, big piece of this Mets team, or whatever they end up doing. I think he's going to be an important piece for this Mets team. I thought that was a really good signing for them. And hey, sky's the limit for this guy. And it's funny because he's 30 years old, but if you really think about it, he hasn't played a lot. He's played how many games in his career? 600 games. So, those legs are probably, still a little fresh if you ask me. By 30 years old, a lot of catchers have way more games under their belt, a lot more innings as well. So James Mccann just edged out Travis Darno for me because I based it more on projection. I think James Mccann, he's going to have a good season this year. I'm really seeing that this year. So here we go. Moving on more into our top 5 at number 4. Who did I have at number 4? Man, I'm going blank on my list tonight. I can't remember. 4. Who did I have at number 4? All right, well, we're just diving in. Here we go. At number 4, that's right, Willson Contreras. Willson Contreras, in my opinion, still one of the better catchers in the game. Not a great season this past year, but man, when you look at that whole Cubs team, none of these guys were hitting very well for the Cubs. But Willson Contreras actually was not too bad. If you go take a look, it wasn't exactly a Willson Contreras 2019 type of year. But it was still okay. Over 57, he played almost the full season, 57 games, 7 homers, only hit 243, but he had a 356 on base. That was pretty good to me. But then if you go back to 2019, he had a pretty solid season over 105 games. So he's still pretty young, but he had the 24 home runs, the 64 RBIs. The defense definitely improved this past year. Definitely improved. Where he really did need to improve, I believe, was it the framing? I'm going blank. It was the framing, and he actually improved on that a lot. If you go back to 2018, he had a negative 18.2 frame rate. He had negative 8.9 in 2019, but then he had 1.7 over 57 games, so he definitely improved in that aspect. So really excited to see what Wilson Contreras can do this coming year. I mean, who knows? I think the Cubs could still be a pretty competitive team. He's only 28 years old. There were some rumors of him maybe going to the Angels this past offseason. So, but it looks like the Cubs, they really want to hang on to this guy. But, yeah, really like Wilson Contreras a lot. So that is all I have for that. Here we go. Now we're getting into our top three. This guy, in my opinion, I can already see it. I'm already seeing the bias comments, so I'm already seeing it. Now that I've said that, you already know who's going to be at number 3. But to me, the numbers really back up this guy over the last couple of years. And MLB.com didn't even have him in their top 10. Did they forget to put this guy in the top 10? I mean, it's fine if you don't want to put him as high as I did on this list. And, hey, I understand the bias comments are probably coming. I'm feeling them already splattering all over my face. I'm ready for it. But the fact that this guy wasn't even in the top 10 on MLB.com, did someone forget? I'm just, Not in the top 10, are you kidding me? Christian Vasquez at number 3. I'm sorry, but the numbers back him up. He is, the offense is not the greatest, but he's still pretty good on offense. I'm just saying he's not as good as these other guys, some of these other guys out there. But the defense is phenomenal from Christian Vasquez. Absolutely phenomenal. Here we go, taking a look. And hey, some of you guys might be saying, hey, Giraffe Neck Robbie, bias. Oh my. Hey, hello everyone. Let me just show you the numbers. Really quick, over the last couple of years, this guy ranks 3rd in wins above replacement. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers. Just the numbers. It's not the fact that I'm wearing a Red Sox jersey. I'm just looking at the numbers, my friends. And you guys know me. I'm not biased at all. I picked the Yankees to win the World Series last year, so tell me that I'm biased. Maybe a little biased. But I just can't believe that Christian Vasquez was not in the top 10 on MLB.com. It's fine if you don't want to put him top 5, or definitely, I can totally see someone, not putting him as high as this, but you didn't even put him in the top 10. That to me is a travesty. This guy is one of the better catchers in the game. Trust me, I watch this guy a lot. He really reminds me a lot of a Jason Varitek. He's not gonna be just amazing with the glove. He's gonna give you some solid offense, but he really handles the pitching staff really well. To me, this guy, if I were to pick a captain of a team, I'm going Christian Vasquez. This guy is just a quiet leader. He just goes out there, he plays. I mean, he's so prepared all the time. His preparation reminds me of Jason Varitek a lot. But if you take a look, the offense, not great in the last couple of years, but this guy, if you take a look at how he ranks RBI-wise, he is 5th in RBIs among catchers in the last 2 years. Home runs, I think he's top 10. He's 6th overall in home runs among catchers. He doesn't do very well when it comes to offensive runs above average, but the guy, he has been hitting pretty well in the last couple of years. But then if you take a look at the defense, here, right now he ranks 3rd. He's the 3rd behind Austin Hedges, who's a defensive wizard, and JT Real Muto, where who knows where JT Real Muto ends up on this list. I'm not trying to, spoil anything right now, but Christian Vasquez, to me, he's top 5 offensively among catchers, and he's number 3 on defense. So if you don't count Austin Hedges, because Austin Hedges is more of a backup guy. I love me some Austin Hedges. But Christian Vasquez, if you don't count Hedges, Christian Vasquez is the second best catcher on Fangraphs. So I'm just saying, Christian Vasquez to me is my number 3 guy. That is okay if you don't agree with that. However, I think we can all agree. That he is a top 10. He is a top 10. If you go take a look at MLB players by position, so they came out with this recently in the beginning of the month. They have, here we go. So if you take a look at the catchers, did I miss the catchers? Here we go. So they have Real Muto number 1, Grandal number 2, Will Smith number 3, mean, for me personally, I think the potential is there. I just wanted to see more from him. Wilson Contreras, I also had at number 4. Shawn Murphy, they had a little higher than I did. Austin Nola at number 6. They had Salvador Perez, Travis Darno, Mitch Garver, and then James McCann. How is Christian Vasquez not on this list? That blows my mind. I'm sorry, but the numbers completely back him up. I'm not really understanding. He doesn't miss a lot of games. I'm just saying, if you don't want him at number 3, that's completely fine. But not even a top 10. Mitch Garver didn't even play. He was terrible last year. Mitch Garver was awful last year. But yet, here's Christian Vasquez playing consistent baseball over the last 3 years, and you don't put him in the top 10? I mean, come on. Come on. He's a top 10 guy. This is ridiculous to me. MLB.com, shame on you. Shame on you. This is no bias at all. Again, you don't have to agree with me that if he's number 3. I'm fine with that, but come on, you got to put him in the top 10. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't know, especially when the numbers back him up. I'm going off the numbers here. So, enough of me bickering about Christian Vasquez. I have him as my number 3 guy. I think he brings a lot of value to the Red Sox. That's just me. And to be honest with you, even if he was on another team, if he was on the Royals or the Orioles or the Rays or whatever, I would still put him at number 3. It has nothing to do with it. He's on the Red Sox. I think he's a really good catcher. Overall, I love watching his game. He's been compared to Yadier Molina a lot. So, really enjoy Christian Vasquez a lot. I would hate to see him get traded. I would hate that. To me, I have a soft spot for Christian Vasquez. And maybe that's why I do have him a little higher on my list. But, hey, at least I'm backing it up with numbers. So, here we go. Moving on now. We're going to get into the top 2. At number 2, so I've seen people kind of go back and forth on these two. When I reveal my number 2 guy, you're going to know who's number 1. But I've seen guys go back and forth, and I think you guys already know. I think you already know that how I feel, who is the number 1 guy. I've said it multiple times on my streams. I don't think it's really any secret. So I think you guys already know who I have at number 1. But at number 2, this guy is just really good. And I have Yasmani Grandal. Yasmani Grandal, to me, is very good. Let's go take a look at the numbers. Here we go. Sharing the screen. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so Grandal had himself a, pretty decent season this year. Not a great average by any means. 8 homers, 230 average. Had a 351 on base. That's really good. But man, this guy has been putting up numbers for the last few years. To me, the number 1 and 2 guys on this list are far away from the guys below them. I think the gap between 2 and 3 is pretty decent. But man, Grandal has just been awesome. This guy provides offense, but he provides a ton of defense as well. He gets it done in so many aspects defensively. Taking a look at the fielding, the advanced fielding stats. This guy is probably the best framer in the entire game. Just saying. This guy, the frame rate that this guy puts up every single year, if you're a pitcher, man, you want to throw to Yasmani Grandal because this guy is going to get you a lot of strike calls. Good grief, man. He saves a lot of runs when it comes to framing. He saves a lot of runs just in the field. What a great guy. What a great catcher this is. Yasmani Grandal, man. Hey, for the White Sox this year, if they're gonna be a competitive team this year, go for a World Series this year, Yasmani Grandal, he's gonna have to keep doing what he's doing. So, big piece for the White Sox this year. Really excited to see what he can do. So let's just waste no time here. Let's just get right away to number 1. I think you guys know who number 1 is going to be. I've said it multiple times. I think this guy is just the best catcher in the game. There's a reason he got the big contract that he did this past year to go back to his team, and that is JT Real Muto. To me, hands down, this guy's the best. When it comes to everything, when you take a look at everything, this guy just gets it done. And not just gets it done, but he gets it done and then some. Great offense, great defense. He frames pitches. He's a leader on the team. He handles pitching staffs really well. I mean, come on. What else is there to say? I'm really not even going to talk too much about it because, there's not too much to say here. Here we go, sharing the screen. Just go look at the numbers from the past few years. These guys have just been putting up numbers, going back to 2016. Same with Grandal, but JT Real Muto to me is just a little better. 2019, what a great season from him. Holy cow. 25 home runs, 83 RBIs, 275 average, 328 on base, a 493 slugging. Look at the defensive runs above average, 27.8. I just showed you here, JT Real Muto over the last 2 years has been the best defensive catcher, at least according to defensive runs above average. So, I mean, this guy, if I had JT Real Muto on my team, I would feel great about that. There's a reason it costs Sixto Sanchez to get this guy. This guy is that good. I mean, hopefully he can stay healthy over the next few years. He's just about to turn 30. But, man, this guy, he's projected for good numbers still. Zips have him at 26 home runs, 98 RBIs, kind of similar to his 2019 numbers. I think he's going to have a good season. I think JT Real Muto is going to be solid again. If the Phillies want to make a push for the playoffs, it was so vital to bring this guy back. If they did not bring this guy back, they had no one waiting in the wings. They had no other, even close options to replace him. JT Real Muto, to me, is hands down the best catcher in the game, and I will stand by that. So, Nahawand, I'm sorry, my friend. I got to disagree with that one. JT Real Muto, the best catcher in the game. I mean, yeah, Sixto Sanchez, that definitely hurt giving him up. But, man, when they got JT Real Muto, I mean, they got him when he was, 27? I mean, 26. I mean, you're getting a young catcher like that, and he was that good. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks to part with the Sixto Sanchez, but at the time, you didn't really know, Sixto was still a little far away at the time. I mean, he was definitely projected to be a beast, but to get a guy like a JT Real Muto, who's a major league ready catcher at a position that is scarce, to be one of the next best catchers in the game, this guy could go down as, in my opinion, one of the better catchers to ever play. So, yeah, it hurt losing a Sixto Sanchez, but it's going to take that kind of a guy. So that's just my opinion. But here we go. But that's my list. So let's go over the list one more time. At number 10, I had Will Smith. At number 9, I had Austin Nola. At number 8, I had Salvador Perez. At number 7, Shawn Murphy. At number 6, Travis Darno. At number 5, James Mccann. At number 4, Wilson Contreras. At number 3, Christian Vasquez. At number 2, Yasmani Grandal. At number 1, JT Real Muto. Ooh, Alex S., you found last year's list. Oh, man. So, as you can see, everyone, in the chat, I was going to pull up the video. So, as you can see, last year, yeah, I took a bit of a dive there with Austin Hedges. I love Austin Hedges, man. I put him at number 1. Oh, my. I love Austin Hedges. What can I say? Number 9, Robinson Torinos. Just went to the Yankees. Gary Sanchez, definitely off my list this year. I'm sorry. Gary Sanchez, the defense is terrible, but then the offense just completely went down the tubes this past year. Sorry, my friend. Didn't make the top 10 this year. Wilson Contreras, he got bumped up this year. Buster Posey. Hey, look out for Buster Posey. I mean, he didn't play this past year. So Christian Vasquez gets bumped up a little bit. Mitch Garver I had high last year, and he just stunk it up. Roberto Perez did not make my list this year. Roberto Perez, I thought about putting at number 10, but he had a terrible 2020 season. I definitely think there's definitely potential for him to get back onto this list rather easily. The defense is very good with him. And then Yasmani Grandal, JT Real Muto did not change. So, but yeah. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, stop it. Gary Sanchez is not a top 10. Get out of here. The defense, I don't care about the offense with Gary Sanchez. Listen to me, everyone. I don't care about his offense. I understand the guy can hit the ball to Jupiter. The guy cannot play defense. He cannot play defense. I'm sorry. But when you're not producing on offense, along with your terrible defense, I'm sorry, but you're not making a top 10. So get out of here with that noise. He's not in that top 10. Absolutely not. Top 20, I'll agree with, but no, he's not top 10. Stop that. That defense is absolutely terrible. Here we go. I missed a super chat. Oh, William Fulgham. Oh my God. Why didn't that pop up? $4.99 super chat. Wilson Contreras is not even the better catcher in his family. His younger brother William will be an all-star. Man, I'll tell you, those Contrerases, man, they just find ways to spit out catchers. Just saying. Wilson Contreras, I think he's going to have a good year this year. Everyone, William, thank you so much again for the $4.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. Everyone, that is all I have for tonight. I'm going to get out of here. I am very tired. Very tired. Let me make sure. Did I miss anything here? Okay, I think I got everything. Is there any news today? Is there any news? Nope. Not really anything to talk about news-wise. Yeah, Nahawand, I agree. Offensively, he was kind of a bust, but if you go back all the way to 2017, the guy's put up some of the best defense. He's actually put up some of the best defensive numbers going back to 2014. Yeah, the offense wasn't really quite there, but the offense has started to emerge over the last couple of years. So Vasquez, I think, has kind of figured it out offensively. So, but yeah, there's not really any news to talk about tonight, everyone. I mean, if I'm looking, Javier Baez says he wants to remain with the Cubs. So he said, obviously, I want to stay here. I don't want to play for another team. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with that. I think this year is going to be really telling for him. Kelvin Herrera announced his retirement. Oh, yeah, the Braves did extend Brian Snitker, so they gave him a new contract. Yeah, so good for him getting a new contract. I think the Braves are going to be really good this coming year. I'm pretty high on the Braves this year, and he's been a good manager for them so far. But yeah, other than that, there's not really any other really crazy news going on. I mean, I don't know. There's not really anything happening. It's kind of like I said, this is kind of like this down time right now. There's not really anything going on. The off season, it's basically done. You got guys starting to kind of slowly come into spring training. Still not hearing anything on Jake Odorizzi. Still nothing on Jackie Bradley Jr. Well, granted, Jackie Bradley Jr. He did post today that he was he's in the batting cages today, so he's taking his swings, he's taking his hacks. Yeah, not one. I saw that. I was like, oh boy, I don't want to get flagged for something here. I got to get off this page really quick. Anyway, Jackie Bradley Jr. Where is he going to end up going? Jake Odorizzi, where the heck is he going to end up going? I don't know, man. I don't know. So, but everyone, that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to get out of here. I'm extremely tired. I've had a long week. I had a long day. But everyone, next week I'll be going over left field, center field, right field, relief pictures, and starting pictures. So what I may end up doing for those next week, I may pre-record them. I'm not quite sure yet. Haven't fully decided. But I may pre-record them so that way I can do more news streams. I did a news stream last night, and it's done way better than these ranking streams. So, hey, I got to go with the views, if you know what I'm saying. So, again, haven't fully decided. But I want to get back to starting to talk more about stuff going on around the league. So that way I'm not just focusing solely on these rankings. So I might just do a pre-recording of all of them and then just post them. And then you guys can just kind of watch them from there. So what I will definitely, if I do pre-record them, I'll make them a premiere. So that way you guys can at least, chat, while it's going on. So, but alrighty, everyone, before I get out of here, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6K by opening day. Hit that like button for me. It's going to get this out to more baseball fans. And hey, if you want to, go follow me on Twitter as well. Everyone, that's all I got. Have a great weekend. Have some fun. Spend some time with family. Go eat a lot of food. Do whatever the heck you got to do to have a good weekend. So, alrighty, I'm going to go to bed. Everyone, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming out tonight. And as always, I'll talk to you next time.